Good morning, everyone. This is a lecture on the first exercise on dashboards. And dashboards are tools for you to summarize information from a transactional database. So if you have a system for collecting information about the orders you get from the different clients, a manager doesn't want to look at the individual orders. They want to look at the summary of sales. So the objective of this exercise is for you to create a tool that's easy for a manager to use so that they can look at trends, for example, for sales over a period of time. They can look and see how much they have sold of a particular product in a particular year or a particular period of time. So that's what we are going to be doing in this exercise. You need to have already downloaded SAP Crystal Dashboard on Windows, and also to download the Excel sheet that you will need to create the dashboard on. Remember, the dashboard is just a tool for summarizing information. So the individual information or the information that you have collected from the transactional database need to be fed into the dashboard system so that you can create the graphs and the views for the manager to look at. I'm going to share with you my desktop. And we'll open dashboard, SAP Crystal Dashboard. I'm going to wait between every step because I know that there is no perfect synchronization between the sound and the image. So all I have done so far is went to the Start menu, open Programs, and you can have it as either Dashboard or Dashboard Design or SAP Business Object. So either one of these will appear on your Start menu under Programs. Mine was just Dashboard. So the first step is for you to create a model with Excel spreadsheet. I've actually chosen the wrong one, so I'm going to go back. And choose model with spreadsheet data. And it's asked me where is your spreadsheet, and just download it to file. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, here it is. So if you scroll up, you will see that the file has products, different products: men's off-road bike, deluxe touring bike, deluxe touring bike silver, professional touring bike. And on the right, you see that these are like sales figures for year 2011 up to back to 2008. And you have different countries. You have the US and Germany. But when you see when you look at the Excel sheet, you see that there is a part that's called source data. That's the data you're getting from the transactional system. And then another part that has selected country. It has a yellow like screen. This is where you will put either US or Germany. So if you choose Germany, you extract only the cells for Germany. If you choose US, you extract only the cells for the US. Okay, so that's the Excel sheet. Here is your dashboard. You want to increase the size of the canvas so you can, or the size of the window so that you can see the whole canvas. And the first task they ask you is to create a header for the dashboard. And you are asked to go under Components, select a 3-view. Right now it's category, so go ahead and select a 3-view and choose Label. Which they don't do really a good job. I think, yeah, they have text first and then label and stuff. They have text and label. So now you will see the properties for the text on the right-hand side. You want to enter the title Sales Dashboard. So the label text will be Sales Dashboard. They want the font size to be 24, which would be something under the appearance. Again, I'm waiting so that you would be able to follow with me. So we'll go under the appearance. And we'll go under text. And we'll change the size to 24 points. So we have to adjust the size, and that's what I have done. So right now, we clicked first on Components, clicked on the 3-view, clicked on the text, double-clicked on Label, on the canvas itself, and that pre-opened the Properties window. Under the General Properties, we actually entered the text, Sales Dashboard. And we wanted to change the size, so we'll have to go under Appearance, and we chose the size of 24. So that's all for the header. Now we want to create a bar chart and a combo box selector to show the number of bytes sold for a particular selected country. We have two countries, Germany and the US. And we want the user to be able, or the manager to be able to choose which view he or she wants. So if they want Germany, the graph should show Germany. If they want the US, the graph should show data for the US. So, I'm going to move the title a bit higher so that we have enough space for the dashboard. Now I want to go under components again and chart. So I close the text, click on chart, and I want a bar chart because that's what you see on the right. One thing, I mean, people always get confused between a bar chart and a column chart. The column chart have the columns vertically, whereas the bar chart have the columns or the bars horizontally. You use the bar chart if you want to compare between different products. Use the column chart if you are looking at different types or different categories of things. So we'll choose the bar chart. So remember that the bar chart has the columns horizontal, whereas the column chart, if you look here, it's vertical. So we created the bar chart. Now I want to put a selector in here. So again, I'll close our component, the tree view, and I'll check on selectors. So I'll close the chart so that I'll be able to see better. Find my selectors, and I have the combo box. So these are like the the first two components that we created. We'll start by configuring the properties of the combo box by telling it if the user chooses a particular country, then move the data, the source data, or copy the source data to the destination C22 to G29. That's the lower part of your Excel sheet. I'm going to show you the Excel sheet again. As we said, we have a source data section where we have the information about each country, the sales for products in each country, GE and US. But then I have, again, a repeated section. It's not all the cells, it's just the cells that pertain to the country that the user has selected. So by looking at the data, I see that the selection right now is Germany. 2019, if you go down here at D22, that's the value for Germany. So you are assuming that, or the default is they are choosing data for Germany, and that's why you're copying the rows that pertain to Germany in these cells from C22 to G29. So we want to tell the combo box to do this. If a user selects a specific country, go and copy the data of that country in the destination cell. So the source data is all of the data for both countries. The destination is a section of my spreadsheet where I will insert data that pertain to the selection made from the combo box. So we'll go for the combo box, we'll click on the combo box, and that will open the properties on the right-hand side. We want to configure the label So the title is Select Country. We want to tell the user to select a country. And then the labels, you can type them yourself, or you can say these are the labels. They are either Germany or US. So you'll choose from B4 up until B19. So where it says label, you click on the selection, and it says select a range, and you actually select it from down here. Highlight from B4 until B19. Either just like stop at wherever and then change it to, so the labels are from B4 to B19. You don't want to repeat US, US, US. You want it to filter the rows. So change the insertion type to filtered rows so that it only shows US and GE. Where is the data for the whole, for like the source state? Again, we'll click and we'll highlight the cell. And if you look, the data for the actual save is from C4 to G19. That's your source data. That's the data that you have accumulated from your transaction database. Where do you want to insert the data that pertains to the selection? So if they select US, where do you want to insert the data for US? And now it is, we will put it again from C21 to G29. From C22, that's the beginning of the data. To G29. So if you select first and then click on destination, it will automatically write the data for it. So again, in the combo box, we first entered the title that we want to show in the combo box, and here it says select country. We chose the label. What are the options that we will provide in the combo box? And we can see that in the spreadsheet, in the column B, from B4 up until B19, we either have Germany, DE, or US. But I don't want the combo box to show all of this repetition, so I went and said insertion type is filtered rows, so don't show the repetition. We highlighted the source data, the data that we will try and summarize or filter. So if they choose US, I only show sales for the US. The whole data is from C4 up until G19. Depending on their selection, destination C22 to G29 will be populated. So if they choose Germany, the cells from B4 up until B11 until G11 will be extracted and stored in C22 to G29. Okay, the next thing is to go to the behavior tab, and we want to insert selected country into the spreadsheet. And you want to show that the first label should be selected. So when you open the dashboard, it will automatically show the data for Germany. You can default it. That's what we call the default value. You can actually default it to label 2 if you are originally in the US and you want it to always open with data on the US, then you can choose label 2. I'm just like explaining to you what we are doing. And that particular selection that you make will be inserted in a specific cell, and that's the highlighted cell. You want this cell, B21, to be populated with either the word US or Germany, depending on what the user has chosen. So, because we highlighted first, it automatically put it in the range and hit OK. So that's all for the bar chart. Remember what we have done with the, for the combo box. We have selected a title, that's select country. We have selected the labels that will appear in the drop-down, either US or GE. We've selected the source data, that's from B4 up until G19. We've selected the destination area, where the data, data for sales for a particular selection is inserted. We identified that whatever selection we make, the label for that should appear in B21. Now we'll go to the bar chart. So see here, it's showing the US, and that's the actual data for, or that should be the bar chart should show data for the US only. Now see if I change to label 1, now it's showing here Germany. Remember now the bar chart will show you the actual data that is inserted in the destination area, T21 to G29. Depending on what you choose. If you choose the US, it will take the data from B12 to B28 or B29. If you take Germany, that will take from B4 up until G11. So it really depends upon your selection. So we'll double click on, or we'll click on the bar chart to open the properties panel. We want to change the title of the bar chart, the subtitle, and the data area, and to bind that data to the bar chart. So the chart title should be number of bytes sold. Your subtitle should be whatever country you have selected, which is in the yellow, the cell, the highlighted cell. We'll find that cell first. Your data that you will graph is the data that you inserted in the destination area, which is C21 until G29. So I'm holding the shift key and pressing on G29. So the whole range is selected, and now when I click on the selection, it will automatically highlight C22 to G29. And I hit OK. Now data will show the different products. And I've made a mistake of highlighting all years. They only need it for the first year, so change that G into a G. Instead of saying G, change it to D, so you only have 1 year, which is 2011. So now it's much clearer, it's just for 2011. Okay, we want to change the appearance to where the chart background is not shown, so we'll click on appearance. And under layout, we'll make sure that to uncheck show chart background. They don't have that white background. Under behavior, we are going to enable the sorting so that the quantity, so see here, it's going up like it's 500 and then goes to almost 1000 and then drops. So it's not really very clear. You want to sort the quantity sold so that the highest sold is at the top. So I'm going to enable sorting. And I want them in ascending order, which means the least first and then the most. So now you can see that men's off-road bike has the highest sales and that the Lux touring bike has the lowest. Okay, we want to see how the actual dashboard will act, so I want to preview it. Okay, I have Germany, and I change to the US, and you see the graph changing. One other thing is if you hover your cursor on top of any of the sales, any of the products, you can get the exact amount that has been sold. We want to add a drill down capability or functionality, which means that if I choose men's bike, I want to be able to see the trend for that bike over the 4-year period. Right now, I see it for 2011. So if I want to see it for more than 1 year, see the trend, I want to show a graph that will drill down and tell me the trend for that specific product over the 4 years. So go back by clicking on preview again. And we want to add a drill down functionality for the bar chart. So we'll click on the bar chart. I'm going to click on insertion and enable data insertion. And you want your insertion type to be a row. So if they choose a specific row, you will show a specific thing now. So we select again the sales for all 4 years, because what you are actually wanting to do is when they select a specific column, you want to show the sales of that particular product over a 4-year period. So your source data is whatever they have selected, the sales for the country that they have selected, which is in the 22 to G 29. So make sure that you click on series 1, and then it's not G30. I wasn't able to select it, so this changes to 29. Okay, so it will be, they will take one row from that whole source. That row, that we want them to insert it in E32 to G32. Whatever product they highlight, we are going to show the sale for that product from year 2011 back to 2008. That should be your destination. Then you want to insert on mouse click. So when they click on a particular row, you should see the trend. Now we want to show how we will do the drill down. We will actually insert a line chart which shows the trend. So we click on component. We'll select the line chart under chart. The title of your line chart should be Sales Quantity Development. You want the subtitle to be for the specific product, which is in cell C32. So I highlight 32 and click on the subtitle. Your y-axis should say number of bytes sold. So you see it now as a vertical label, a label on the vertical axis. And we want to say that the data is by series. You have a series of data, not just like one particular column. It's depending on the selection. So your series should be in 31, P31 to G32. So it's the header along with the actual data. Right now there is no series, so you want to add one. And you name that series product description. Just this. The value for the y-axis is the actual data that's stored in D32 to G32. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now your category label for the x-axis is the years, which is 2011 to 2008. So D31 to G31. And again, we don't want that white background, so we'll go under the appearance and we will remove the background. And we want to see now how it will work. So we'll click on the preview. Okay, so I go and I choose the US and I click on the lock on the lens approved by, and that's how the sale looked like that. In 2011 I sold 448, 2010 it was 420, 419 2009, and then I came back to 447 in or went to 447 in 2008. That's very different from the deluxe touring bike silver. Now see that the actual the values for the x-axis, for the y-axis is different now, because I'm in a higher category, so the numbers are 1550, 1550, 1581, 2011, dropped to 1554, 1478 in 2009, and in 2008 it was 1722. So everything is looking fine. I want to see if I go to Germany. Okay, everything is working fine. We want to now create a layout for the dashboard so that we have separate sections for each. So we want the header in a section, and then the selector, the combo box in one section, the bar chart in another, and then the trend, which is the line chart at the bottom in a separate section by itself. So we'll go back to preview. We have a header the same sales dashboard. We want to add to it bike. You want to move the right. Move on to add right. Under the select country, we are going to add a text field. So click on text and label. Okay. Right under the selector, just like to enable the user to understand what they're supposed to do. And in the label text, we will type in selected product in the bar chart. To visualize development of sales. Of sales quantities over time. We want blue, light blue background against the text so that it is like the user is able to see that this is different from regular labels. So we'll click on it here and we want to drag the text and show fill. And we are going to show the fill as light blue. Give it a little bit like this. The last thing is adding an image to like a logo to the dashboard. So we'll click on components. We'll click on art and background. And we'll click on image component. We want to import that SAP UA logo, which I will post on Blackboard so that it appears to the right of the dashboard title. And you will export your dashboard to as a PDF. You don't need to do that one because you will actually upload the XLF file, which is this particular file here. So just like hit save and save it as your name, Cherie dashboard. Like what mine is Cherie, with yours, whatever your last name is. And hit save. Now preview it, just have to make sure everything looks fine. Everything looks fine. And that, again, is the XLF file that you will need to upload. Okay, that's all for the dashboard. I'm going to start the sharing and the archive.